Alrighty, guys, welcome back to art class. On September 17th, we celebrated Constitution Day, and so for art, we did an American themed project, a USA themed project, and we're also practicing our weaving skills. Weaving is one of those things that needs to be learned in art class in elementary school. It helps us prepare for other projects, and it's also just really good for brain development. So we like to try doing a weaving project a couple times and in the different grades. So I thought this would be the perfect time to try it out this year. So for this project, you're going to need red, white, and blue paper. If you only have white, feel free to just color one of your papers blue or red. Or if you only have one or two of these colors, it will still work. You don't have to do it with all three. But as you know, the colors on the American flag are red, white, and blue. So it's just fun to have all three. Okay, so the first step for this project, we are making a USA woven flag heart. USA woven heart. So you are just going to choose one of your colors and fold it in half. And I tell the students this is Hamburg, but as long as you fold it the wide way, instead of the skinny way, you should be good. Okay, then draw a half a heart. And if you have no idea what that means, I will show you. Make sure it's under the camera so you guys can all see it. But you're just going to draw a half a heart. And the heart cut in half looks like this. Okay, then you're going to cut your half a heart. Then unfold it, see what you got. Make sure you have a heart. And then fold it back up again. Then, this is where you need to watch closely. Then we are going to, on the fold, so make sure you're cutting on the fold. Right here is the fold, not the open part of the heart, the fold. You are going to cut a few lines. You're not cutting all the way through. You don't want to chop your heart into bits. You just want to cut a few lines. I'll do maybe 4. So it's not super complicated. Okay, so I have 4 little notches. I didn't cut all the way through, and I didn't cut too close to the edge because you don't want to make it super brittle. Then unfold it, and you should have this. So it looks kind of like, I don't know, some of my students said it looked like window blinds. So maybe that's a good way to think about it. Then with your remaining 2 colors, or 1 color, if that's all you have, that's totally fine. You are just going to cut it into strips. So cut a few strips of your remaining colors. And the thickness completely depends on your preference. If you are somebody who's really good at weaving and you've done it before, cut all of your stuff nice and thin, because it'll be more challenging. But if you are a little bit new at weaving or you're unsure, cutting them wider makes it a little bit easier. Okay, now in weaving, the 2 most important words are under, over, under, over. Just keep repeating that to yourself. So we're going to go over the top one, under our first one. Hopefully this is nice and close and you guys can see what we're doing here. Then over the next one, under the next one, and then the last one is going to be over. And for this, right now, I'm just going to let it overhang. I know it hangs over the edge of the heart. Just leave it like that for now. We'll fix it later. And just push it all the way tight to the edge. Then if you want to do a pattern, like a blue and white pattern, go ahead and take your next color. And now we also have to do our under-over pattern going across. So I started over on my last one, so this next one I need to start under. And this is where I always see mistakes. We accidentally do it the exact same way we did it the first time, and then you don't end up with that nice checkerboard, basket woven looking pattern going across. So you want it to be opposite of what you did the first time. So the last one was under, so this one needs to be over. Then under, over, and the last one is going to be under. Just tuck it under, pull it down, tuck it nice and tight to the first one. And now you can see how that pattern is starting to be established. You have over, under, over, under. And so now your next one, I can go with my white again, and it's actually going to be the exact same way I did my first white one. So the pattern starts to get a little bit easier to see. So over, under, over, under, over. Hopefully you guys can still see this. And then you're just going to keep going until you're all the way across. So I'll try and do this nice and speedy so the video doesn't get too long for you guys sitting at home. All right, then we're gonna call that good because that's the amount of strips that I cut out. I could probably still squeeze in one more white one, so feel free, to keep cutting strips and fill up your heart. But for now, I'm just gonna pause it there and then take a glue stick. Hopefully you guys all have glue sticks because we're gonna be using them quite a bit this year. And I like to just glue down my ends so that they don't slip out and get lost. So just a little drop or a little dot, depending on what kind of glue you're using. Then flip it over, glue down the other side. That way those guys aren't wiggling around and coming loose on you. Then I just take my scissors and I'm just going to trim off the extra so it's nice and even with the edge of my heart. Oop, gotta make sure I'm under the camera. It's a learning curve here, guys, sorry. I'm not used to teaching underneath a camera. I'd rather see your faces, but if this is what we do, then this is what we do. And I'm excited that you guys still get to do art. This makes me very happy to see all of your emails of all the cool stuff that you guys are creating. I appreciate you guys doing these projects every week with me. I look forward to seeing them. Keep taking the pictures, keep sending them in, keep doing your art. All right, and then there we have a beautiful American USA woven heart. If weaving was tricky for you, keep practicing. This is so important. In a couple weeks, I have a brand new project that I'm working on that we are going to be weaving, and I want you guys all to be able to be successful, but that means we're going to need to practice. So if this was really hard, which it was hard for a lot of my students here too, just keep practicing. In some of the younger grades, like second grade, if you're in second grade and you want to keep it a little bit simpler at home, I did some with just a whole sheet of paper. So instead of trying to do the heart shape, we just did like a mat, like you see here. So it worked the same way as the heart. We just took a whole sheet of paper, folded it in half, and then I had them draw with a ruler across the top. I had them draw a line to cut to. That way they didn't accidentally cut their paper into shreds. And then we just cut our lines up to that line, and then we stopped. And that seems to be a pretty successful way to do it as well. So then you'll create a weaving mat like this, and then you can use your paper just like before, create those strips, and just keep practicing that over, under. And if you don't glue the ends, then you can just keep pulling these strips out and just keep practicing. Because like I said, this is a really important skill for us to learn. It really helps our brains develop, and it also helps develop our art skills. And it's going to help us for a really, really fun project we're going to be doing in a couple weeks. So hang in there. I know it's hard. I know it's new for some of you, but keep trying, keep working, keep practicing. And as always, send me those projects. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with.